Thank you all for coming. I want to welcome you here. I see a lot of faces that I don't recognize. So just to let you know, my name is Heather Scholdice, and I teach music part-time here in Okemos. I only teach the first graders here at Benwoods. And it has just been a pleasure working with your kids this year, so thank you for the opportunity. You are at our second annual Informance that Mrs. Krajeda, the other music teacher in the building, and I decided to start last year for the kindergarten and first grade students. Because we found that for those young students, for them to stand up on risers and do a concert is cute, but doesn't really show you anything that they know. It doesn't really reflect the richness of the learning that goes on in the music classes. So we did this to inform you and share with you what the kids are learning. So we're going to start here for just a few minutes and show you how we start our music classes. Are you ready? What? Oh, perfect. You're just in time. I was just welcoming you guys. Come on in. Can you kind of figure out where you would go? And that's so perfect. You would sneak it right there. Come on in. Perfect timing. Okay. Chicken. We won't go chucking readings this time. This is big. Oh, this is going to be interesting, I can tell. Okay. Let's see who remembers. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, ti, si, la. And we just learned recently that when the resting tone is la, that means it's going to be in minor tonality. Now we're going to do a different pitch than we did today. Today you're not going to sing la. We're going to show them the one where I would sing a pattern, and no matter what I sing, you have to do the entire thing back exactly like I do. So let's see who's got their good singing posture. Who's got their eyes right here so they don't picture it? Who's using their head voices? Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. I see some kids sitting tall, so tall like Lucy and Eric. Let's see who else is. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. I think I need to pick on some kids. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. We're going to sing the whole thing. That's what we did today. That's okay. That's what we practiced this afternoon. Bum, bum, bum. 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 Hearing so many head voices. That's great. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum, bum. I was going to trick him into more. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Good posture, you were sitting tall. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Just a couple more kids I got to pick on. Bum, bum, bum. 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 Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. 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 That's what I thought. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Nice to meet you. Okay, reach your. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. That's all we need to show them. So we start our music class with a little thing like this where they're focused and they're alternating between the group responding and individuals responding. I don't always sing with them in class, but I wanted to sing with them right now so they got comfortable with doing all of these things in front of me because it feels kind of weird at first. And just so you know, I like to think of that as sort of our musical vocabulary lesson because those little patterns, bum, 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 are like little chunks of tonal meaning, kind of like our little musical words. So they develop the vocabulary of those little patterns that they then can apply to the songs we learn and understand them better. They can improvise with them, which you're going to see a little bit later, so that's what that's about. And now, at this point in time, we're going to be making our circle around the rug. Maybe not right on the edge of the rug, but on the outside of it. And we would love to invite any of the guests who might be willing to come sit with us to join us because I hope that you will find that these kids are learning a lot of stuff that I don't know about you, but I never got to learn in elementary school. How many of you had elementary school music like me where once they roll piano and you'd sing some songs and they roll away? Yeah. So we're going to share with you all of the things they're learning. So I know they're really excited to share with you. So come on down. If you're not comfortable, that's okay, but we'd love to have you join us. Oh yeah. See, we got some good sports up here. let's go backwards. So our circle gets bigger. Yeah. Okay. And then maybe, could we just get, how about Sarah and Caleb and June, and I'm assuming Bertrand's dad. Let's go back just one more time. And then Caleb and June, you can scoot over, and then just that would be right with us. Yeah, oh, perfect timing. Come on over. Wow, we've got such a good turnout in this class. So cool. Oh, by the way, the things we're going to share with you tonight, these are just things that we've learned along the way in music class. We have not rehearsed anything for you, so some things may be more familiar than others. So this song we're going to start with, let's see. This was a song we just started learning on Tuesday. I hope you remember. So la, so, fa, mi, re, ti, do. And when the resting tone is do, that means the song's going to begin. Go ahead and say it. Major tonality. Let's teach the guests the song. Oh, I'm so glad that you could sing that whole thing. I would have to stop singing it with you because the guests don't want to hear me, they want to hear you. Anyone who knows, would you tell the guests what we call that kind of movement? We call it flow. Let's show the guests a little flow and they can join us with the flow while you sing the song for them. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, now this feels kind of weird, right? We usually walk around doing this in our lives. No. So I'm glad you showed the guests how, and we weren't just doing that to be weird. That's because so often with young children we start asking them to keep a steady beat, and they don't feel it yet, so they get tense and they rush or they slow. But if we ask kids to move with flow, they start to feel all the space between the beats, and they just put the beat on top of it, and they can move with a much more consistent tempo. You have such nice high voices. Do you think you could show the guests the difference between that and your chest voice? Yeah. All right. What if we sang this song this time in our chest voices? Just this once to show that what it sounds like. Just this once. You have permission. Ready? Here we go. That's all kids can sing like. They don't think kids can use their high voices and sing really well like you just. Let's show them high voices now. Cool, this time how about we teach them, what do we call big beats? Big beats are called macrobeats. So let's teach them, what do we say for the macrobeats? We say do. Can you whisper it? Could the guests whisper that for us? And while the guests whisper that, kids sing the song. Great, let's teach them, what do we call little beats? Little beats are called microbeats. And let's teach them how to whisper that. Could the guests whisper that? And kids will sing the song. Oh yeah, I wonder if we could put them both together. So our feet will be the macrobeat. And our hands will be the microbeat. And let's add the song to. Oh yeah, and with the microbeat start. That means the song is in. We learned so many words, it's easy to get them all confused. Let's think about it for a second. Do-day. If the microbeats are do-day, that means it's in. Do-day. See, all we had to do is think about it. So when they feel that layering of big beats and little beats on top, it helps them feel the meter of the music so they can layer everything on top of that with more understanding. I think it's time for a toy. Oh, yeah. No, I have tons of toys planned for us today. In fact, I think I better get some of them now. I got it all under control. We're going to start with, don't say it, but put your hands on your head if you remember his name. What is this friend's name, Sarah? You got it. If you remember what RT stands for, hands on your belly. What's his favorite thing? What's his favorite thing to hear?
Resting tone.
Yeah. And we used to only sing bombs to the resting tone, but now that we know that his song is in major tonality, when he lands, now he can sing do. You're right, because that's the resting tone in major tonality. So let's see who can show them how we sing do whenever he lands. Yeah, da 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 da. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Do. Yeah, do. Yeah, you are too good. Nobody fell for it. All right, this time Archie's going to do some flying. If he flies to you, you get to catch him and sing do, the resting tone all by yourself, and then you get to pass him to the next person as long as you promise to do it. Let's see, I get to pick the first one. Yeah, da 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 do. You knew that was my turn. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ya-da, ya-da, ya-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Ya-da, ya-da, ya-da-da. Very nice, Mrs. Cavler. Now let's see who Jack picks, who's waiting patiently. There you go. This time I'm going to ask Jonah to pass it to someone who's super duper quiet. This time, if you're still waiting for a first turn, would you raise your hand so Raven knows who needs a turn still? No fair that Eric and Caleb are still waiting for first turns. If you're a first grader who didn't get a turn, raise your hand. Just a quick note to the guests. So you probably noticed as you were listening to each child sing their resting tone. By the way, resting tone, that's like the pitch center to a song, where home is tonally. And that's really important for kids to be able to sense because it helps them sing more in tune, and it's also a readiness for things like improvising, which we're going to show you in a little bit, and like learning, which we're going to show you in a little bit. But you probably noticed some kids saying it exactly right. Do. Some kids use the singing voice, but maybe the pitch was a little off. Do. Some kids were still exploring finding their singing voice, so they just spoke it. And I don't make a big deal. I don't call attention to any of that. It just tells me what each child needs. And I don't know if you believe me or not, because some people don't. Every single human being can learn to sing. Even if you've been told that you can't, or you're tone deaf, or anything like that, everybody can. Just like everybody can walk and everybody can talk, unless you have some kind of a physical disability. Everybody can learn to sing. And so for them, I just give them lots of opportunities to use their singing voice and respond individually, so they can hear how they're doing rather than just always singing in a group and just kind of imitating everybody else and never being able to hear what they're doing. So just a little explanation about that. I think it's time to do a little moving with our guests. We're getting to all the good stuff. keep pushing. Let's see, we're going to show our guests. A long time ago, we learned to chant where we use different parts of our bodies. Let's start with an easy one for the guests, a little bit trickier. Let's start with our arms. Hickety, pickety, bumblebee. Can you use your arms with me? Number I go first. Ba 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 ba. Cool. Hickety, pickety, bumblebee. Can you move your elbows with me? Ba 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 ba. Not hard enough? All right, how about your legs? Hickety, pickety, bumblebee. Can you move your legs with me? Ba 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 ba. All right, that's it. Instead of just ba-bas, let's add do's and do-daddies, and then you can tell the guests what that means. Let's do shoulders. Hickety, pickety, bumblebee. Can you move your shoulders with me? Do-daddy, do-daddy, do-dee-doo.
Do-daddy, do-daddy, do-dee-doo.
Hickety, pickety, bumblebee. Can you move your hips with me? Do-daddy, do-daddy, do.
Do-daddy, do-daddy.
And if the microbeats are do-daddy, it's not duple-meter, it's triple-meter, yeah. And by the way, thank you so much to the kids who are really doing their best. They're not just goofing around, they're really trying to show the guests how smart we all are, how awesome we are. Keep it up. Now, unfortunately, we're going to use a different toy in a minute, so we're not all going to take turns with him right now, because we're going to all take turns with the next toy, but just to show the guests. So those, we were doing little rhythm patterns, just like at the beginning we did tonal patterns, bum, 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 like our little tonal words. These are like our little rhythm words. So the next thing we would do is we would have kids all take a turn by themselves so they can develop that independence. So let's see. Hickety, pickety, bumblebee, can you echo a rhythm for me? Ba, 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 ba. You got it. Pickety, pickety, bumblebee, can you echo a rhythm for me? Ba, 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 ba. Good. And we would all take a turn like that on one day. And then if that wasn't hard enough for you, maybe the next day we would do, remember the one where I passed it to kids and that kid made up a rhythm with buffaloes? And we all had to say it back to them? Remember that one? Who thinks they can pick up a rhythm for us to echo? We all got to say it back to them. We'll do a couple kids like that. Hickety, pickety, bumblebee, can you make a rhythm for me? Cool. How about one more? Hickety, pickety, bumblebee, can you make a rhythm for me? And we would all take turns like that, where we would each teach the class a rhythm. But we won't all take turns with that, because we're going to all take turns. Well, unless you don't want to, it doesn't sound like you want to. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to point out, a minute ago when we were being silly and just moving different parts of our body, it was fun. I always want things to be enjoyable for the kids, but there was also a purpose of, as first graders, we're not always aware of what our body is doing. And so doing things like that where they have to isolate body parts and really focus on what their body is doing helps them develop that coordination. So when they do things like instruments, they're going to have that awareness. Okay, moving on to my friends.
The beepers.
Who we like to have rhythm conversations, exactly, but they only speak in rhythm, so the only sound they make is ba. So let's see if they can do one for you, and then it's going to be your turn. Ba 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 ba. Did they say same things or different things? Different things, because that's what a conversation is. If I said hi Reva and she said hi Reva, that would be a conversation. That would be weird, right? So let's see if this time mine is going to say a rhythm to you, and you answer back with a different rhythm with bubbles. Here I go. Ba 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 ba. Ooh, I heard some different. Let's try this one. Ba 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 ba. Oh, that sounded really different. All right, this time. Now remember, we got to slide so we don't get hurt. I don't have enough for all of us to take a turn the first round, so we're going to have to take turns. So be patient if you don't take one first. How about Griffin, Tyrone, Annie, Vanessa, Caleb, Jade, and then we'll switch in a minute. Get your beepers ready. Give it up first so I can see who I need to come to. When my beepers talks to yours, you get to answer back with something different. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, that was different. Ba 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 ba. How about Griffin? Ba 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 ba. Yeah, that was different. Ba 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 know. So when we're doing this, I'm listening to see, can they do something different? And if they can they keep it in my same rhythmic context? So if I went like, ba 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 ba, if they did ba 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 ba, they wouldn't be sensing my steady beat in my meter. So I just listen to see what they give back. If they give a response like the one I just did, that tells me they need something much different than a kid who would be like, ba 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 ba. That kid needs something a lot harder to keep them engaged and keep them challenged and growing. So just to let you know, now kids with speakers, don't pass them on just yet. Before you pass them on, keep them on your hand. Now unfortunately, I only have this many, so I don't have any to give to the guests. But what you're going to do is take your beepers and either turn to or go walk to a guest that came with you. And you're going to say, no, keep the beepers, because you're going to show them how to do it. You're going to make a rhythm with your beepers. They're going to enter back with a pretend one. You don't have to go alone, they'll be all at the same time. The pressure's not on you. All right, ready, kids? Get ready. Kids with beepers, get ready. You look like somebody who came with you. Oh, no, your guitar over there. Yeah, so if they're not sitting with you, you can go find the person that came with you and do it with them. All right. Kids, get ready. You're going to say your rhythm to them, and they'll answer back with a different one. Ready, kids? Here you go. Now the guess. Ooh, how'd they do? Good? Okay. Kids with beepers, go ahead and slide them on. Other kids, if you need a turn, raise your hand so they know who needs one. Okay, get those beepers ready so I know who needs a turn. And do me a favor, if you get a second turn, instead of taking the second turn, how about you pass it to somebody who needs the first turn so we get through everybody. All right, let's see. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Let's see, did I miss anyone that had some beepers? That was it? I got them all? All right, those kids who just had a turn, keep them on your hand and find a guest that came with you. And they're going to get pretend beepers and answer back with a different one for you. Get ready. Go ahead and find someone if you need to go find them. Okay, kids get ready. Kids say your rhythm and guest answer back. Ready, kids, here you go. Now the guest. How'd they do? Was it different from yours? Cool, come on back. Raise your hand if you still didn't get a turn with the beepers. Let's slide some to some of those kids. June needs a turn, Tanji needs a turn, Tessa and Raven need a turn. Tessa and June need turns. Here, how about Mrs. Haslar? I wonder if she would be willing to take it. You can do it. All right, get your beepers ready. Let's see. Oh, you scared me. I thought you were going to be the same as me, but then you changed it at the end. You're sweet. Got my eyes on you. Let's see. How about June? That was different. Great. How about Mrs. Tasselar? Was that different? Was there anyone who had beepers that I didn't get to talk to by themselves? Okay, because this time you're going to find a guest with your beepers. Quick, find a guest. That will work. All right. Get ready. It's the beepers. You start first. Ready? Here you go. Now the guest. How did they do? Was it different? All right. Come on, baby. If you have, what? what? You're keeping secrets from me. I don't know if I like that. If you have keepers, I need a helper to collect them and put them back in the bag. So first, if you have keepers, slide them to the middle. And then I need someone to put them in the bag. Are you going to pout if it's not you? No, because you know I don't pick powders to do the next thing. Pout now. How about Caleb? Would you put them in the bag, please? And while Caleb does that, can you, if you know it, go ahead and say it. The word that we learned that means cat and turkey over and over and over and over. Oh my goodness, there's a green one. It's camouflage. It's hiding. Let's teach the guests an ostinato. Remember we did a rhythm that I told you we were going to play on instruments next week? It went like this. Do, do-daddy, do-daddy, do. Do, do-daddy, do-daddy, do. Do, do-daddy, do-daddy, go on. Do, do-daddy, let me try you. Yourselves a clap. And let's tell them again, if the microbeats are do-da-dee, that means the song's in what? You got it. Now before we do the dance, do you think you could teach the song to the guests? Here we go. And just a quick word to the guests, we've been singing songs so far that don't have words, which sounds kind of weird. It's not that we never do songs with words, but we start with songs without words, because otherwise, what do kids usually come to school with, being more familiar with, speaking or singing? They talk all the time. So if we do songs with words, that's what they tend to focus on, and that's where you kind of get twinkle, twinkle, little star. Whereas if we take the words away, they can really focus on the music, on the pitches, on the rhythm, and it encourages them to also use their singing voice. Because if we do words, they're used to speaking words. You take the words away, and it encourages singing. So how about this time? Let's teach the dance. I'm going to ask right now that we have our shoes on, since we're going to be moving around. I would feel bad if you stepped on something that cut your feet. All right, let's teach them. This is the one where we went 4 beats that way. 4 beats that way. 4 beats that way. 4 beats that way. First, let's count it for them without the song. Count it. Ready now.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I tricked some people to end up right in the middle instead of taking teeny tiny steps. All right, let's add the song to our dance. Here we go.
Yum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Yum, ba-da-da-dum. Yum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Bum, bum.
Not bad. I think we need to do something harder. Let's see who remembers the chords to the song.
Bum, bum, bum.
Pause for just a minute. You are so excited about singing that I hear some people using their chest voice instead of their head voice. Let's try it in our head voices this time. Here we go.
Bum, bum, bum.
Keep going. That's it. The first time we went through it, I heard this. Bum, 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 bum. And people forgot to change on bum, bum. This time I need someone who thinks they know the whole words and could do it all by themselves. Because this time, Mr. Clashers wants to hear some duets. Remember in this one, whoever he comes to, they get to sing the chord roots all by themselves, and I'll do the song. So 2 people singing together is a duet. Got it. Now, I'm not going to make everybody take turns because I know there's a lot of people watching us. In music class, we would all just take turns. That wouldn't be a big deal, right? No. But in front of the guests, I understand if you don't want to. That's cute. So let's see. Who remembers the chord roots? Can you sing it one more time?
Bum, bum, bum.
One more time, let's go.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, raise your hand if you'd like to do a duet with me. Let's see, I'll pick the first person, Bill. The next one. How about Griffin? Ready, here we go. You person who's raising their hand because they want to turn. Ready, here goes rainbow. Cool, you get to pick the next person who's raising their hand. 3, 2, and ready, here goes Sarah. Good, you get to pick the next person who's raising their hand because they want to turn. 3, 2, ready, here goes Lucy. There you go, let's see who she picks. Like, and think it in your head. Or you mean when it's your turn, just sing it, not read it? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Ready, here goes Annie. Good, you get to pick the next person who's raising their hand because they want to turn. By the way, I don't know if the guests realize, but this is pretty challenging, even for adults to do, to be able to sing one part by yourself and have someone else sing a different part and not kind of lose it. So this is challenging. Ready, here goes Vanessa. You got it. You get to pick the next person. 3, 2, and 1. Ready, here goes Julie. Want to get one more start? Okay. Ready, here we go. Good, you get to pick the next person. If you wanted to turn and didn't get one, raise your hand. If you already got one, please put your hand down. We'll do more turns in music class sometime. We got lots more things to do tonight. 3, 2, and 1. Ready, here she goes. That's exactly it. Let's see if she makes 3. Go raise your hand if you wanted to turn. 2, and ready, here she goes. Great, you get to pick the next one. Raise your hand if you wanted to turn and didn't get one yet. Going once. Going twice. Oh, you want to turn? Here, gentlemen. Ready, here goes Karen. Ready, Joy wanted to turn. Ready, here we go. Excellent. Last chance. If you didn't get a turn and you wanted one. Does June want a turn? You want a turn, June? All right. Go ahead and pass it, June. Ready, here goes June. Awesome. I'll take you. You're making me work for it. All right. And I know that took kind of a lot of time for us to go through kids one-on-one, but I really wanted you to have that chance to hear your kid if they wanted to alone. And how cool is that they are like dying in class? They would all be dying for a turn alone. So hopefully they can keep that and not somewhere along the way lose that and be afraid to sing by themselves, because everybody can do it, right? Oh yeah. And you probably noticed some of them did it exactly right in tune. Some of them had it and they kind of lost it. Some of them are exploring, finding their singing voices, and all of that. Ooh. The other day when we got done with this, we started making up our own songs. We just made it up. What's that called when you just make up your own song? Improvising. I wonder if we could improvise a little bit, I guess, because I don't think they believe that first graders can improvise. Do you believe that? They can make up their own songs, like build their voice and everything. This one, whose mom are you? Somebody's mom, somebody's aunt? Jack's mom does not believe that you can improvise. She said, no, I don't believe you. Let's prove her wrong. So remember, this is where you might have gone, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. You can make up anything you want. Remember, when you improvise, you can't make mistakes because it's all right. You can sing whatever you want. all try making a song at the same time. Here we go. I wonder if you could try it one more time, and then maybe some people would be brave enough to try improvising by themselves. Now I heard some kids that did this. They did the chord roots, they added rhythms. Is that okay? Yeah, some other kids did stuff like this. And they used all kinds of pitches. Is that okay? Yeah. Let's try one more together. Ready? Here we go. All right, is anyone feeling brave? Let's see. Would anyone like to improvise along? You don't have to. Oh, wow. All right. You just make up your own song. How about this time? We're gonna make up a song. Cool that you were brave enough to try making a song. Let's get one or two more people. How about Tessa this time? Cool, your song sounded like chord roots. Good job. Let's get one or two last people, and then we're gonna move on. How about Taru? I think I recognize the song from before. That was neat. How about I think to be done, we'll move on. Awesome, let's give all those kids a clap. You can hear that's where, like, remember all those little rhythms we did before, like up, 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 up. Here they're now pulling from that rhythmic vocabulary to make up their own music. Or when we did like up, 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 you might have heard that pattern come out in what they did. That's why we do all those little patterns. And again, maybe some of them just ba 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 with their speaking voice. They're still getting the rhythm. So anything they come up with is great. I just want them realizing that they can make up the music. All of them can do it. On that note,
You're right.
thank you, I know. It is almost time. But before we do, we need to do a little bit of jumping. Remember we learned that chant called Jump Over the Ocean? Let's see if you remember and teach it to the guests.
Jump over the ocean, jump over the sea, jump where you want to, but not on me.
Oh, that was good, but this time, can you do it in your little high voices? Right, here we go.
Jump over the ocean, jump over the sea, jump where you want to, but not on me.
How about your low voices? Here we go.
Jump over the ocean, jump over the sea, jump where you want to, but not on me.
And just to let the guests know, we're not just doing this to be silly and weird and have fun. It is fun, but when we explore our voices and all the different sounds they can make, that helps the kids who are still struggling to find their singing voice. And if they can use, for example, if they can find a little high voice, hopefully they realize that eventually they just sustain it and singing. That's why we do that. How about this time, please? Oh, that's it. We gotta be harder. What's that word again when we think music in our heads?
Audiating.
What if we audiated the chant this time? Ready, audiate. Oh, that's it. This time you've got to audiate with your eyes closed. And the guests are going to watch and make sure you're not peeking, so close them tight. They're watching you. Ready to audiate with eyes closed. Here you go. Eyes open. Give yourselves a clap. And you can tell then who was able to keep that steady beat going internally with their eyes closed, so that just tells me something about where they're at and what they need. How about, I know, last one. Let's go back to chanting, but you may not say the word jump. Whenever we get to jump, you have to audiate that word. Ready, here we go.
Over the ocean, over the sea, where you want to, but not on me.
Okay, the last one. You can say jump. and everything else. Good luck. Ready? Here we go. Oh, I'm tricking some kids right now. Ooh, and I think, Vanessa, could you do me a favor? Right behind you is a blue bag. Could you pass it to me? You are a bunch of Oh, just wait a minute. Before I can take off the scrunchie, you gotta see if you even remember the song. Because it's been probably months since we've done the song. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned we didn't like rehearse any things for tonight. We're just doing things we've done throughout the year, so I really don't know if they're gonna remember the song. Hope so. Remember this was the song about a hippopotamus. And if you can sing it, I'll let you do the scrunchie. Ready? Here you go.
I'm a hippopotamus flying out of my oven. I'm a hippopotamus flying out of my oven. Oh, the in the jungle can be summer heat. I'm so glad I'm in the water, very cool in my pool. I'm a hippopotamus flying out of me in a great lake. I'm a hippopotamus, but I'm not a summer.
And when we sing bum, that's called
Resting call.
just checking. Thank you for being so patient. Hold on, don't sing that. Thank you. Oh, no. That was going to be my next question. You must have read my mind. Now, don't say the answer yet, but what's that word, the way music is organized? That's called, don't say that, but think about the form of the song. If you know it, whisper the form of the song. Now, wait a minute. Who can explain to the guests why it's ABA? Like, how do we know the form of the song is ABA? How do we know it? Like, walk them through. Why do we know which part is called what letters? Let's see. Can you tell them the form? How easy? Can you tell them? So we give each part a letter, and if it sounds the same, we have to give it the same letter. Okay, and then who can finish up and then explain why in this song, why exactly is it A-B-A? What about the song tells us that that's the form, A-B-A, in the moment? How about, let's see, who am I doing this whole lot tonight? Jordan, can you tell them?
Well, it goes by the way. A is one part, and then B is different. So B, then A, because it's the same as the first one.
I think you got it. Did you have something to add?
One of the ways that I could remember the form of it is because we would go like this in the first part, and then we would go this in the second part, and like we remember when we were there, the same part we said in the first part, which I remember you told us when we were little.
Okay, well then, do you remember if we do this, and then we do this? Is this part macrobeat or microbeat? Microbeat, what about this part? Okay, I think you deserve to do some scrunching now before you can grab on. Remember, I gotta call you, and when it's your turn to come grab on, you scoot forward, you grab the part that's nearest to the front of you, and then you scoot back just a little, not too much, because we don't want to break it. I've broken one of these before, and it wasn't that great. And this is Mrs. Virgeo, so she'll get that or most of the Let's see, how about Jack come grab on and then scoot back? And let's have Tessa grab on and Tootie grab on and scoot back. And then next, let's have Georgia come grab on. All the way back to you come through. Yep. And let's have Jane grab on. And June. And Aaron. And that should be okay. And then everybody's grab on. Everybody, including the guests. Feel free to make room for the guests that are down here with us. This is super fun. You're never going to get this opportunity again. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. We better let the guests get their waves out. Because remember, if you do scrunchy, if we do it right, we shouldn't see any waves. It should move up and down in a straight line. So let's let them get their waves out for 3 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, and 4. Another one. There should be no more waves. Okay. And let's see if you can help me sing the whole song one more time. And sing the whole song without my help, and do your very best. Then I'll let you do the one where we go. On the rusty toe, we let go. Deal? You've got to sing the whole song first. Deal? Okay. Ready? Here you sing.
I'm a hippopotamus flying at the bottom of every plane. I'm a hippopotamus flying at the bottom of every plane. All the others in the jungle can't beat summer heat. Running down in the water, so very cold.
Get ready, we're going to be letting go soon, and it hurts if you don't let go and get snapped. So maybe we'll need to help you. It's better to let go.
I'm a hippopotamus flying at the sea in a great big wave. I'm a hippopotamus at the bottom of the lake.
Get ready. Jonah and Sarah, you might want to help your sister and brother to know when to let go. Because here we go. The Upland and Jordan's sister too. We tripped somebody in our very own. Now, as much as I would love to do more scrunchy, we're going to have to save that for music class because we are out of time. So I want to thank all the guests for coming. I hope you had a good time. There's some handouts on the table right there if you want to see. We couldn't possibly show you everything they do in an entire year in one night, so you can grab that. My email's on there. If you ever have questions or comments, let me know. And if you ever want to come visit their class, the door is always open.